Today I'm going to tell you how an empire was founded, but not in the way you might imagine, not with palaces, crowns, or massive armies. This story begins with a small principality living around Sogut, and a man almost no one took seriously. When Osman Gazi set out to build a state, he had neither a great treasury nor a regular army. But he did have one thing that would later form the foundation of the vast Ottoman Empire. So what did Osman Gazi do that turned a small principality into a state that would last for centuries? This is where the real story begins. When Osman Gazi is mentioned, what comes to mind is the first step of a great empire. But at the very beginning, there were no palaces and no large armies. Just a small principality around Sogut and a determined leader at its head. After the death of Ertugrul Gazi, Osman Gazi took over leadership at a difficult time. Anatolia was in turmoil, the Seljuk state had weakened, and Byzantium had lost its former strength in the border regions. Osman Gazi read the situation well, but he did not try to solve everything solely by the sword. The fact that he did not treat people harshly in the places he conquered helped him gain the trust of the population. With the capture of places like Bilecik, Yarizar, and Inagil, the name of the principality slowly began to be heard. The Alps, dervishes, and volunteers who gathered around him believed that this was not just about gaining land. There was a desire to establish an order. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Osman Gazi was the importance he gave to justice. Regardless of who they were, he tried not to turn a blind eye to injustice. This approach played a major role in the rapid growth of the Ottomans. When he passed away in 1324, he had not left behind a vast state, but he had left a solid foundation. His son Orhan Gazi, who succeeded him, built a strong structure upon this foundation. For this reason, Osman Gazi's name is remembered not only as a founder, but as the beginning of an understanding. Osman Gazi's struggle did not take place only on the battlefield. He was a leader who managed to keep the people around him united. Establishing order within the principality, making fair decisions, and giving people a sense of trust were at least as important to him as conquests. That is why more and more people began to gather around Osman Gazi over time. Dervishes, Alps, and volunteer warriors united around a common purpose under Osman Gazi's leadership. Everyone knew what they were a part of. This sense of unity became one of the strongest aspects of the early Ottoman period. Even though it was a small principality, there was a solid structure within. The raids carried out along the Byzantine borders were not only about gaining land. These raids also helped make the name of the Ottoman principality known. Osman Gazi was a leader who knew where to stop and when to advance. He avoided unnecessary risks and acted with patience. The order established by Osman Gazi became a guide for those who came after him. His son Orhan Gazi took this understanding he inherited from his father even further. The principality gradually turned into a state, and the state eventually turned into an empire. But at the heart of this transformation were the first steps taken by Osman Gazi. Today, when we speak of the Ottoman Empire, we are talking about a history that lasted for centuries. Yet this long story began with small but determined steps taken in Sogut. The story of Osman Gazi is one of the clearest examples of how something that seems impossible can become possible with the right understanding at the right time.